If only the SNP candidates had something positive to offer rather than fighting with each other. But Kate Forbes has been so honest about the SNP's record in government that just this morning, Mary Black, the SNP's Deputy Westminster leader, said the SNP could split over this contest. Nicola Sturgeon has divided Scotland, and now her departure is dividing the SNP. Yet, while the SNP go through this civil war, the real priorities of Scotland are being ignored. This divided and distracted party is failing to give Scots the health service they deserve. Well, the current Health Secretary is mumbling while I'm speaking about his portfolio area. So let's go through what has been said this week. BMA Scotland told us that nearly half of junior doctors are thinking of quitting. On Monday, an investigation reported 1 in 5 people in Scotland have been forced to go private for health treatment. There are 773,000 Scots on an NHS waiting list just now. And 10 patients a month are travelling to Lithuania for treatment. Travelling from Scotland to Lithuania for treatment. So, First Minister, when you said people should focus on governing and serving, shouldn't the SNP leadership candidates focus on the crisis in our NHS, not the crisis in their party?
First Minister.
Let me come on to the NHS in a second. But, you know, every single one of the SNP politicians that has been mentioned by Douglas Ross today has more popular and public approval than he does. Douglas Ross, I think, is the least popular elected leader in Scotland today. So my advice to him was intended to be helpful. Perhaps if he spent a bit more time looking in the mirror and reflecting on the reasons for his party's and his personal unpopularity and a bit less time thinking about the SNP, he might not be in the dire straits he's in right now. And in terms of the NHS, of course our NHS faces significant challenges, but of course the numbers self-funding private care in Scotland are lower, significantly lower than they are in Tory-run England or indeed Labour-run Wales. We are now seeing reductions, considerable reductions, whether it's in outpatients or inpatients, in the longest waits, because we are focusing on NHS recovery. And it's because we're focusing on NHS recovery that no NHS workers have been forced onto strike action in Scotland, and in fact, in terms of agenda for change, the highest paid workers anywhere in the UK. That's the focus on the NHS we have and will continue to have for as long as we're in government.